Welcome back to the MMA Plug, presented to you by the Talk of Colorado on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio. I'm your host, Jordan Kurt, sitting here alongside the Big Ins himself, Josh Friend. You can give him a follow at Josh Friend MMA. Give me a follow at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. If you're watching along online, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you do not miss a drop. The temperatures are starting to swing lower and lower as we creep into fall, so that means that it is the perfect time to treat yourself to a new outfit from Jaywalker's Apparel.
Jaywalker's Apparel.
Jaywalker's flexible material is so comfortable, but also looks so amazing. Bulking season is upon us, so why not show off that juicy booty?
Juicy!
Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, head to jaywalkersapparel.com today and use the promo code JuicyBooty to get 20% off at the checkout so you can do you.
Juicy!
Now, listen, folks, this UFC card this weekend, it's going to be an early start first and foremost, so make sure that you have your calendars marked for that and you don't miss it the afternoon. But it's a historic event for the UFC in that it's their first ever show in France. France notably had MMA outlawed until 2020. Josh, what are your thoughts on the maiden voyage to see UFC in Chez Paris?
Je m'appelle Josh. Je mange un sandwich. I think this is awesome. I think it's crazy that France had MMA outlawed until 2020. That is crazy. I took 6 years of French. I think it'd be pretty dope to go fight in France. That would be awesome. And for them to be able to go over there and have Surreal gone as a main event, yes.
I think that goes to show you how much the UFC favors Surreal.
Yeah. I mean, the guy he's the perfect guy to get behind to market the fight game. He speaks well. He's a gentleman. He's just top class, just a good guy, and he can fight.
And
why not?
Flat out freak athlete.
A freak athlete. Yeah, I mean, state the obvious there, Kurtzy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the guy, and he's, 250 pounds, carved out of stone, but he moves like he's 170 pounds.
Wild.
It's absolutely insane. But if we take a look at this matchup, though, if there's anybody who can draw the technical guy like Gon into a brawl, it is Bam Bam Tai Tuivasa.
Oh, buddy, you know what I'm excited for here.
Oh, we going to see it again?
We're going to see it again because, if Tai Tuivasa goes out here and knocks out Surreal Gon, there's only one thing left for him to do. He's going to go fight for the title.
Oh, yeah.
And could we see champion Bam Bam? Bam champ Bam? Bam champ?
The thing is about a guy like Bam Bam, on any given night, he has a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
Just because of the ultimate equalizing factor in the heavyweight division. Now, what I would personally like to see from Surreal is I'd like to see Surreal shoot for a takedown in the first. Just make Bam Bam honor it.
Yeah. I can see it.
If you're playing it smart, if you're Surreal, you are the better grappler. And if we're talking about right now, when you're number 1 versus number 3, you're playing for keeps right now.
Yeah.
Bam Bam's trying to take your number 1 contendership, and you're trying to hold your position. Why would you play fire with fire? Why would you play with fire in that situation?
Because say he doesn't get that takedown. Say Bam Bam stuffs 1, 2, 3, gets taken down, gets back up. Now what's Surreal like? All that muscle, all that blood running to your arms, all that energy expended with a big... Bam Bam's not a small dude.
No, he's not, but you also... you can recognize just showing it and making him have to honor it.
Yeah.
And what that could potentially open up. Even if he doesn't get it, flash it a couple of times and make him honor it.
Yeah.
And the same right, Bam Bam carries a lot of weight himself. Why not, even if you shoot in and you don't get it successfully, hit the body lock, press up against the fence. You are the taller guy than Bam Bam. Use the leverage and let him carry your weight for a little bit. Play the long game. You have to be in there for 25 minutes with a dude who can shut off the lights with anybody.
Yeah.
Is it, is it worth stepping into the fire if you're gone when you're trying to hold that position? The question is ultimately, how does he want to attack that?
But then,
what we've seen of him in the past.
Do you want to play it safe though, as Surreal? If you play it safe, you might end up losing anyway.
If we're looking at Surreal's history, though, in his fights with guys like Derek Lewis, to some of his other matchups against very other heavy-handed guys that are similar to a Bam Bam, he's played the safe game.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the value side of the prop lines and the picks, I don't think the over is a bad choice.
So what you're saying, what I'm picking up, is you're saying, Surreal, go out there and do what Francis did unto you.
That's the best game plan that he could possibly implement against Bam Bam.
I see.
Don't let Bam Bam get his hands going, because if you let that man start throwing, it will have devastating effects.
I agree.
So, I mean, like I say, like if I'm looking at it from an X's and O's, from a tactical standpoint, and I'm Surreal, if I'm Fernan Lopez, his head coach and corner, I'm telling him, why are we going to stand in the pocket and bang? Or if we are going to stand and strike, we're going Wonder Boy.
We're going Wonder Boy.
We're in and out. We're finding our angles. We're darting in and out, and we're bouncing here. But so that being said, when it all comes down to it, Josh, what's your pick?
You know I'm going with Bam Bam. I'm not going astray. This is just the perfect clash of styles, both body types and fighting abilities. I haven't picked wrong with Ty. I'm staying with it. And you know I'm doing a shoey on here when he knocks out Surreal. That's no disrespect to Surreal, but when he knocks out Surreal.
And there's a great, I mean, if Bam Bam wins, it's by knockout.
Yes.
So if you're favoring the Thai side of things, that's where you want to take your action, is on the knockout finish. In the co-main event, I think that this is an incredible matchup, Josh. In the middleweight division, it's a couple of guys who, it's really now at this point, they're jockeying for position to see who is the number 2 guy behind Izzy. And obviously Izzy has a fight booked with Bajeda that's coming up, but just in terms of the current status of the division, for the longest time it's been Izzy and then Rob.
Yep.
But if we take a look at it from this standpoint, if we're looking at both Rob and Vettori, Marvin Vettori, over the course of the last roughly 5-6 years, they only have 2 losses apiece. Those 2 losses to the same guy.
Adesanya.
So, with that being said, Marvin Vettori has put himself into the conversation as being one of the top guys in the division and trying to potentially get either another shot at Izzy, or if it were to change, and puts himself in that discussion once again.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at the actual attributes of the fight, Robert Whittaker is much faster.
Yeah, Rob is just way faster, more explosive, more athletic, I believe.
Certainly, but I mean, we see the straight up dog that's in somebody like a Vettori, though, who was so willing to fight Paulo Costa that he said, you know what, like a couple of days before, I'll take the fight 20 pounds ahead of what we agreed of, just so I can continue and just so I could keep this fight, and went out and had a scrap with Paulo.
Yeah.
And we've seen him beat guys like Jack Hermanson. He's got quality wins under his belt. Obviously, it's not the same resume as the former UFC champion in Robert Whittaker, who has those big wins over guys like Yoel Romero out there underneath his in his resume. But like I say, I think that the over once again is a great choice for this, especially in a 3-round fight. And why do I think that the over is a good choice? Vettori is a dog, Josh, but he's not a big finisher. At the same rate, he is very tough to finish, and he's a hard out. And I don't know that Robert Whittaker has the power to be able to shut the lights out on Marvin Vettori. I think that it would have to be the perfect execution of the placement of a strike. Just in terms of, we've seen it from Marvin. Like he's a raging pit bull. He just can walk forward through damage.
I don't know if he's going to be able to walk through Bobby Knuckles.
And that's why we fight the fight.
That's why we fight the fight. Yeah, I mean, if Marvin can get this done, all kudos to him. He's been, I guess, not really given his credit in the middleweight division because of, the likes of putting your shorts on backwards and taking pictures with it.
Yeah, and
But the fact that-
one for him, I get it, but how does it? Nobody in the UFC department or the PR people or anybody
That
who
just
goes through
means that they're not looking out for your best interest. You need to be smarter. And it doesn't help the fact that, like, when he goes on his tangents, he sounds like the dude from the Goonies.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's just not his fault.
he's the perfect villain.
I wouldn't even say villain. I don't even know what I would call
But
him.
the outfit and everything, where he had the circle glasses, looking like the guy
little
from Wild
monocle.
Wild West.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, just he look with the shaved head, bald. He just looks like a comic book villain.
I digress, because I have something I want to say, but we're on the radio and harsh words can't be said. But I think that Bobby Knuckles gets this done. I think that it's definitely going to be either a decision or a TKO, maybe not a knockout, but I can see him getting hit with something and then finishing up with unanswered blows. Or he takes him the whole distance, because Bobby Knuckles is known for that just durability, and he just stays where he's at. Like, if it the same thing, I guess I can't say it's the same thing because we have a new welterweight champion, but Bobby Knuckles goes Izzy then Bobby. That's just how it goes.
Certainly. Folks, what do you think as far as our picks in the main and co-main as far as this weekend's UFC Paris card? Let us know on social media what you think as far as the card goes and who you have your eye on for any potential parlays, props, or picks that jump off the screen with massive value out there. You could hit Josh up at JoshFriendMMA, me, Jordan Kurtz, at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Stick around after the break, folks. We're going to be talking with the Bosnian Silverback, who will be headlining next week's LFA 141 card. This is the MMA Plug, presented to you by the Talk of Colorado on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
or live stream at DenverSportsBetting.com/radio.